Hello everybody! Welcome back to another Dark Souls all boss run thingy. I have yet to solidify exactly how I want to title this series yet, but we'll see how it is. By the time they start uploading, you'll know. Anyway, we just did the first little bit of the game. Now we're going to head to Sen's Fortress. And we'll see how far we get this episode. One thing I kind of want to try is I want to jump down there. Like, I want to do a test to see if I can drop attack them, but I feel like the fall damage will kill me afterwards. I don't know if the fall damage is calculated after a plunging attack or not. Or it's calculated beforehand, I don't know. I definitely have questions. I definitely have a lot of questions. Nice. This is one bonus as well, that we'll be able to loot a bunch of stuff around here. And I want to save souls for buying resources. That's kind of what I want to do in this area, because there's that one guy off in the back corner in that little tower, excuse me, in that little tower that we can buy, I believe, large Titanite shards from. I would like to do that. I believe this is the way out of this little lower area, if I remember correctly. Where does this go? Okay. Alright, we'll come back up here in a minute. I'm gonna kill all I want to kill all the ones that drop Demon Titanite down here just to grab it while we're here. But right now, our strategic goals are basically just to progress the game and pick up whatever upgrade materials we can, sort of in bulk. That's the main thing right now. Oh, Titanite catch pole. Okay, so the enemies will drop their weapons. It's just we got really unlucky with all the Black Knight weapons. This is one thing too, is I want to make sure I get some Black Knight weapons before the end of this run. So we probably are going to kill the we're probably gonna kill the demons outside of Gwyn's boss room. Probably a few times, because they drop a bunch of upgrade materials, and they also drop... they also, you know, in theory, should drop the Black Knight weapons. They should at least have a chance to do it, because, you know, there's been a lot of weirdness going on about the Black Knight weapon drops. And we've killed, what, like, both ones in Undead Burg. Killed the one, and like we've killed like several of them, and none of them have dropped any of their weapons. So it's very annoying. It's very annoying, to say the least, that we have not gotten one of the Uber weapons yet. And I'm going to try to keep very specific weapons throughout the run. I'm not going to carry all of them, and right now I'm just using the scythe just because. This is sort of like the weapon that I think is most advantageous at this point. Will you drop anything? No? Okay. But yeah, right now, this video is probably just going to focus on progression, I think. I don't think we're going to work on... We don't really need to work on unlocking anything specific at this point. It's mainly just get through shit in the game. One key thing we do need to do this run is we need to get Big Hat Logan. Need to talk to him, free him, and get him back to Firelink Shrine. Because your boy needs sorceries. Need lots of them. Run, 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 run. Run, run, run! Let's wait for this next rock. This first run of the game is really just based on collection. Just collecting resources that are going to be difficult to get in subsequent runs when the boss actually turns aggressive. You know, like collecting rings, collecting upgrade materials, you know, all that kind of shit. This is the run to collect shit. Let's make sure we collect as much as we can. This is also a good run to get a bunch of things upgraded. Nice. You got some fight in you. Thank you for that. Not a bad weapon to have, all things considered. Yeah, I don't think I really need to go this way for anything. Hello, Logan.
Oh, and but I speak. Oh, I'll be on.
I don't think I actually need anything from this little section, because I think this just gives you the ring where you move around sneakily. We don't really need that. Shit. Damn it. We made it so far. We were like right at the next bonfire too. Damn. You know, the funny thing about all these runs is that some of the bosses are going to be more challenging, like, in the world than in the actual arenas and shit. Because you know, like one thing that I've been thinking about just now is, you know, the Calamite fight, like the Calamite run in like New Game Plus 7 is going to be just ridiculous because of like how how big he is, how damaging he can be, and how widespread his attacks are. You know what I mean? Because he's got a lot of ranged attacks involving fire. He's also got a grab, right? So those things, if those things like can catch us through the environment, that's going to cause so many issues. So that's going to be an interesting run. The main runs I'm worried about are the ones that have sort of AoE effects. Like Seath's curse buildup is going to be an issue. Quelaag's lava is going to be an issue. And I don't really know how to counteract those beyond just take things really slow and try to snipe them as much as possible. And then we obviously have glitch issues that are going to happen. The Moonlight Butterfly run was very problematic because we couldn't really kill the boss a lot because just the boss just kept phasing through the floor. I wasn't able to kill them fast enough. It's one of those things that I'm concerned about with some of these runs is, you know, how glitchy are some of them going to be and how tedious are others going to be. Oh yeah, you're the same. Oh, just missing parries, just back to back to back right there. Fuck you.
But
Time for upgrades, buttholes. Can't really buy that many of them. But it's okay.
go along, try and make something.
We'll be able to come back and get more, I think. Alright, let's see. There we go. Ah, man. Alright, Iron Golem time. Or, well, Asylum Golem time. Oh. Just fell through the world. Nice. That was easy. Thank you, game. You made things easy on me. Alright, with that... actually, we don't need to go back and buy much from him. I think about it, because the vendors in there sell shit that we need. Now, for some reason, the enemies in this cutscene are screwed up as well, and I'm not quite sure why that is. Wait a minute. Oh, no, it's a cutscene back. Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's weird, like, one of them is screwed up. I don't really get that. That is one thing. I'm not going to try to go for every single cutscene available, but all the boss ones I definitely want to see. Just because I think those tend to be more funny than little ones like that. But anyway, we're moving along. I'm still not sure if I'm going to use any boss weapons, but I might. It kind of depends on the boss weapon. I need to look into some things. I forget if this one is already kindled to 10. I think it is. Yeah, it was. Alright. Alrighty then.
Well,
Actually, wait.
you are.
Oh, I just remembered, did I pick up the doll? Okay, I did. Need to make sure we have our doll. I'll loot this little place real quick, and then we'll head down and try to get the, we'll get the bonfire, next to Gwendolyn. And then we'll go for Priscilla and that whole area, because that area is full of goodies. I'm a little confused on how this mimic is up there. I really want mimic gear. Can I even aim that high? Oh, of course you... As soon as I use an item, you activate. I should have remembered that. Dang it. Didn't drop the headpiece. The first couple of runs, when we're going to be doing some level of soul farming, having extra souls is going to be worth it. I'm thinking by the time we hit the Quelaag run, we may not need to worry so much about souls dropped from enemies, but rather souls that we pick up in the world. Because that dictates how many souls we'll have in reserve whenever we need to buy ammo and restock supplies. It's one thing that I'm just trying to figure out. One thing that'll also be nice is that I wanted to do this before, but I wanted to make it a long edited video, and it just took so long between the recordings and the editing to actually get that thing out. So I figured having these come out as sort of just little episodes on the gaming channel would be a good use of the videos, as well as the highlight reel at the end would be something I can, you know, have fun with when I'm ready to, you know, do that, you know, with the highlight reel. Because right now it's fun to just play it and upload it. It's very simple, it's easy. Also gives my gaming channel some content I can stock up on. Especially because this is something I've had fun with. Alright, I don't think I need to kill many of you. Problem is, are any of you in the way? Yes, some of you are in the way. I forget. Do I have the stats to use some of these weapons I picked up? Got high strength and high dexterity. Okay, so I can use that sniper crossbow. Alright. Oh wow, that is very weak. Alright, because we don't really need to worry about this right now. See if I can hit them with this. Okay, well, again, I need to bait them out. I need to do some tests and see which things bait the enemy out, the way that works, because I think it's whenever I use an item, they sort of catch on. We'll see. One thing I definitely need to do before we finish this run is try to upgrade our weapons as much as possible. I forget if there's anything worthwhile back here. I remember that this drops a thing, but I can never remember what it is. Which usually means that it's either not that good or not something I use a lot, so let's see. Might be one of those divine things. Yeah, divine blessing. Helpful, but not as much as I usually need it. Although for these runs we might need a lot of those. Now, one thing that I'm concerned about is how these runs are going to differ across the 3 games, because I've used the Dark Souls 1 mod repeatedly, the randomizer repeatedly, to make things work the way they do. So I know it works. I know how it functions, and I know some of the glitches of it. I've not tried the Dark Souls 2 randomizer, and I've not tried the Dark Souls 3 randomizer. You know, and although I've seen the Dark Souls 3 randomizer work, I still am not sure exactly, you know, how that's going to sort of operate. You know, I'm not certain of where the drawbacks for those 2 mods are going to be. Okay, all the drops. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm just kind of curious where we're going to have some issues between the Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3. You know, where we're going to have issues as far as those runs go, because this is the weird thing about the trilogy being different throughout each game, is that there are different pros and cons to each game that are going to present different issues at different points. Right? Like this run is sort of a mixture of different levels of chaotic and a different level of choke points, because of the way the sort of map is designed and the way certain enemies are going to have issues on certain maps. The kicker for some of the other games is that we're going to have different things working for us and against us. So for Dark Souls 2, for example, we're going to have poison be a huge part of those runs, because poison arrows are pretty cheap. You can get them in huge amounts, and they just nuke a lot of enemies. Right? They nuke the shit out of a lot of enemies. You know, we also have the added bonus of, you know, like life gems and all the other healing items we'll come across as we go through Dark Souls 2. That will help us in our run. But on the reverse side, there's a lot of enemies in Dark Souls 2, and if the game manages to fit the enemies into an arena, we're going to be dealing with spam attacks of various enemies, and that's going to cause all kinds of issues. that will cause all kinds of issues. And then we also have the issue of, you know, essentially fighting a boss over and over and over and over in certain situations where we might have low ADP, or we're going to have to deal with sort of wonky hitboxes for certain things. Like, imagine the Pursuer run, where tons of them are doing their grabs over and over, and we just have to run the fuck away or hide in a corner and hope they despawn. or hope that they damage each other, right? Because in this mod, it's fairly certain that most enemies will damage each other. I think the only exceptions are Ornstein and Smo because of obvious reasons. You know, they're a duo boss fight, so, you know, they would naturally not damage each other just by virtue of their boss fight working the way it does. But a lot of these other enemies will damage each other, and that's going to be an incredible boon across many different fights. And it's going to be weird going through each run, because each run's going to be different, both in terms of how the boss works, as well as how certain enemies will function in groups, and what their sort of drawbacks are going to be. One thing I'm very curious about is how some of the weirder runs of Dark Souls 2 are going to be. You know, like when you take bosses that have sort of a group of, like, lesser enemies, you know what I mean? You know, like take like the Skeleton Lords, for example, right? When we spawn in the Skeleton Lords, are we just going to have a bunch of the weak little skeleton guys, or are we going to have the actual Skeleton Lords that spawn the other ones? You know, like, which ones are we going to actually, you know, like, which ones are we actually going to encounter? Or is it going to be a random assortment of any skeleton from that fight spawned in wherever an enemy is? Or are we going to have the Skeleton Lords themselves spawn, and they themselves will spawn other skeletons, right? There's a bunch of variables that I'm not sure how they're going to work when the randomizer is applied. Right? So it's got weird shit like that. And then you've got stuff like imagine the Congregation run, right? Like, when we do the Congregation run, are we just going to get a ton of... Like, are we just going to get a shit ton of the Prowling Magus? Or are we going to get a shit ton of them? Or are we going to get just a random assortment of different enemies from the Congregation just around? You know, just there are so many questions as far as what enemies are we going to get when we get groups. Because as far as I've seen with the randomizer for this game, when it comes to multiple enemies that can spawn, it tends to pick one or the other. I don't think it spawns both. I don't think it spawns both at all. So it's going to be a weird assortment of trying to figure out, like, how are things going to work across different runs. It's going to be a weird experience going through the different games. But as far as certain runs are concerned, my main, like, in terms of the, like, across the games, my biggest concern for the Dark Souls 1 runs are going to be glitchy runs, like I mentioned with Moonlight Butterfly and Quelaag, you know, because they, like, break the game, you know, where the game just literally can't function in certain spots. But we also have that weird thing where runs like Seath that build up Curse are going to be a significant issue, as well as some of the other enemies that cause different sort of AoE effects, right? You know, like Nashandra is going to be a weird run because of the constant application of a Curse, right? Like, or I say constant. It's not going to be absolutely constant, but it's going to be enough of a constant to be a problem. You know, there's just a bunch of issues that we're going to encounter across different runs that are going to lead to different sort of things. And my main concern with the Dark Souls 3 run is just going to be around the cap on how many arrows and throwables you can carry at once. Right, that's going to be the main sort of drawback to that run, because there's going to be so many You know, Dark Souls 1 and 2 let you carry a shit ton of ammo. Dark Souls 3 does not. So our range strategy is going to be cucked by the time we get around to that run. And that's going to suck. It's just going to be... The runs are going to be interesting across the different sort of things. And it's going to be a weird thing, too. Like, durability is not really going to be an issue in this game. Durability is going to be a huge issue in Dark Souls 2. And durability might become an issue in Dark Souls 3. You know, just because of just the sheer amount of shit to deal with in certain spots. And this is one reason why I want to keep a select group of weapons. Because if I try to focus on one weapon as sort of the main weapon and then have like an offhand, there's going to come a point where the durability of those two weapons is just not going to work, like feasibly. It's just not going to be enough, depending on different things. So it's going to be very difficult to deal with certain situations as we sort of go through different things across these runs. But I am excited about going through Dark Souls 1 just because I know how most of this shit works at this point. It really just comes down to you know, understanding the pros and cons of certain bosses being in certain positions. The main thing I'm concerned about is choke points. There are very specific choke points in this game that could be problematic depending on the boss that exists, right? You know. Like, one of the choke points that is concerning is the baby skeleton area right before Nito. As far as those guys spawn infinitely, so we're not going to be able to, you know, we're not going to be able to like nuke. We're not going to be able just to slowly whittle away at them and then win. Like, for certain enemies, we are going to have to nuke them down as fast as possible, find an opening, get through it, and then get to the boss. You know, that's one of those areas that's like, shit. How are we, you know, certain bosses I'm already thinking, like, how the hell are we going to do this? Thankfully, most bosses hurt each other. So, it'll be a very unique issue when we get around to it. One thing I am concerned about, too, in the Dark Souls 2 run is enemies that don't get replaced in the randomizer. Because I have heard some enemies don't get replaced at all. They just continue to exist for whatever reason. And I wonder how that's going to go. One thing that will be nice is we aren't going to have to do any sort of like rotten farming or anything in Dark Souls 2 because we'll be killing bosses constantly. And that's the one thing about Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 that's going to be strange, is figuring out which boss, like which game is going to get us to max level first. You know what I mean? You know, because there comes a point where you don't really need to level. You know, it's just sort of a thing where you get like a small stat boost more than anything. But in certain runs, that's going to be invaluable, just to have the maximum amount of offense and defense because of your levels. But the main thing about each run is that the main thing about each run that's going to get me is just the way how fast we get through each run, right? Dark Souls 1, I feel like, is going to be a thing where it slowly gets longer as we go on, with the Ornstein and Smough run being the longest. I feel like that's going to be the longest run just by virtue of, you know, them not, them not hurting each other. But it's one of those weird things where I'm really curious to see the Dark Souls 2 run. I'm really curious to see that, just because there are so many enemies in that game, and there are so many bosses in that game, but so many of them have really weird sort of gimmicks that I feel like might cause issues with the all boss run sort of thing, like for them and for me, right? Like bosses like Nashandra that summon like those little curse floating orb thingies. Those are going to be horrendous to deal with, you know, because they'll just be constantly applying. You know, and she's also got her laser beam, you know, which is going to hit us through a ton of different shit. You know, there's just a lot to consider with some of the bosses in each game, and it's going to be a nightmare dealing with some of them because of just the way the bosses work. It's also just going to take a while because, you know, having to go through 41 bosses, you know, having to go through 41 bosses in Dark Souls 2, like 41 times each, is just going to be a massive sort of... I need to deal with these big fuckers getting in the way. What the fuck? Die. And one thing too is I'm really hoping that all the runs have I hope all the runs have the same sort of randomizer type of thing. So I've had issues trying to set up the randomizer for the other games. And I haven't gotten it to work yet, which is going to be an issue that we will deal with when we get done with the Dark Souls 1 run. That's a problem for that's a problem for future Vangeris to deal with. On the plus side, when we get to Anor Londo, we'll be able to buy a lot of upgrades. Oh, yeah. Alright. We should basically be done with this area now. Just need to get through the boss and then get back to the main area. Doing pretty good, though. I'm really glad that we got the Rite of Kindling early, because that helped with everything, and that's going to help with every subsequent run, because I don't have to worry about using humanity sparingly, because I can pop it at the bonfires. I can pop it to save my life, and then I can just, kindle any bonfire we miss during this run. It's time for Persimmon. I keep trying to think of clever boss names, and they just don't come. They just don't come. Hello.
I expected as much from them. Why the...
Oh, why? What's he get the me? Meh. Alright, let's get out of here. We did it. We did the thing. Alright, let me go down and kindle the Gwendolyn bonfire. Once we kindle this bonfire, then we can just work on progressing to Ornstein and Smough. And I'm going to kill Smough first. That way I can get the Leo ring and just have it available if we need it. I'm going to try to hold on to certain rings, just because certain rings are going to be more useful than others. Alrighty. We're going to get a lot of resources when we get to the blacksmith here. Yeah, we're doing good. I don't know which pathway I want to go down first in terms of going for the Lord Souls. I don't know why I kept those on for so long. Oh, well. I wonder if I can bait him off the edge. No. Please fall off. Dang it, that didn't work. There we go. This is one thing too that I think about it. I probably could go back down for the Rite of Kindling again in the next run, just because the Taurus Demon run's not going to be too terribly bad. Because even in New Game Plus, the Taurus Demon is still like one of the weaker bosses. I mean, it hits pretty hard, but it's also going to have very low health by comparison to everything else we'll be dealing with. So keep our eyes open for alternatives to this. Hello, Solaire. How are you doing? Most important gear for the run. Just because of massive defenses and a really good shield that blocks a lot of different shit. The Dragon Tooth will also be helpful as just sort of a backup weapon, but it's mainly the armor. Mainly the armor. Alright. I know how to do a skip, but I'm actually going to go through this area just so I can loot stuff. That drop is always real suspicious to me. Alright. Let's upgrade a weapon. Alright, let's go ahead and upgrade that. Just because that will help. Lightning Spear is very effective. So we're going to keep that too. Alright, let's buy resources to upgrade stuff here, because we've got room. Alright. Yeah, that should be enough to do some decent upgrades. Alright, we have a Havel Shield. Feels good. Alright, we have a Dragon Slayer Great Bow. That feels good as well. Alright, we need one more chunk and then a slab for that. More dragon shit. Alright, I forgot. He doesn't sell... Oh, he does sell the little ones. Okay. Oh, yeah, but I can't, like, ascend... I don't... Can I ascend stuff with him? Wait, is that... I forget. Does that retain bleed on top of lightning? I always forget how that works. Can make the Life Hunt Scythe, but I remember that it has like a bleed effect on top of your own shit, which I always found just stupid. Let's make it a Lightning Scythe, why not? Have fun with it. Alright. See, the thing is, like, every time I think about upgrading these, I'm wondering if I should do it to, like, just have certain weapons upgraded, or if I should go for certain boss weapons that yield useful effects, like either really high durability or like a special move or something. It's just a lot to think about. There's a lot to consider. I know this lightning effect will definitely help on our when we're dealing with demons. Alright. I want to make sure Solaire goes in the arena with me. I forgot. Does this thing still have the... Yeah, it has lightning, physical, and bleed still. That's fantastic. Come, Solaire. Let's watch a real good cutscene. I don't get what makes the textures stretch out like that. It's very strange. Alright, I need to kill them quickly before Solaire does anything. Alright, so which one of you is... Okay, you're Smo. Good to know. I'm also not going to worry too much about getting every possible cutscene in the game for bosses. As long as we get one, I'm okay with it. Get him, Solaire, get him! Get him, Solaire. Solaire, man, get a little closer. There we go. Good job, buddy. Oh, I guess... Oh, shit, I think I remember now. I think Ornstein himself drops it, not... Oh yeah, I think I remember that, actually. I think when I did my Ornstein and Smo run that I didn't upload, it like had a shit ton of Leo rings dropping everywhere. That's weird. It's weird how inconsistent some of that stuff is, and regarding regarding like what enemies drop what, and do they actually drop it, or is it tied to the boss fight? It's weird going through that. Now here's a problem. We are going to run out of humanity soon. That is going to be an issue.
Thou art come,
Megas Boobus.
chosen undead. I do think I
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Now take your fake booba and go away. 'Tis not real. Our perversion has been deceived. Alright. Alright, I want to kill What's-Her-Face for the added bonus of the, whatchamacallit, but at the same time, I can't warp away from that bonfire. That's really annoying. I think as long as we play it safe, we'll be okay. Okay, so that'll work. Hello, dickheads. I always hated this duo. See, that's the kind of shit that annoys me, is like, you get these guys with big shields that can parry on top of stunlock me to death. It's like, bruh. Ironically enough, I think we've died to more, like... And this is one thing that I don't get to. Why the fuck do you spawn me back here? That is such a stupid... Like, I literally rested at that bonfire in front of the princess. Why do you do this? This is one of those things about Dark Souls that really annoys me, is there's a lot of weird little mechanics that don't make sense, and they don't follow the rules of all the other mechanics throughout the game. Like, constantly warping us back to that bonfire over there is just stupid. Like, why are you like this? It's just a weird oversight, and I'm not sure why that is. I really just gotta parry one of you into oblivion as soon as fucking possible. Because dealing with one greatsword bro and then his other friend is just annoying as shit. Come on, motherfucker, do something! Just annoying, man. Hide behind a shield half the damn fight. Fuck you. Fuck you. Annoying little shits. Gotta be really careful when warping around here, because the game is dedicated to me staying over there for some reason.
How dare you produce a blade upon a deity? How did you have
I also hate how you can't heal while she's talking. That's really fucking stupid.
But how?
Give me your shit. Now we go down to Gwyndo. Actually, let me put some points into stamina here, so I can just have a lot of equip load and a lot of stamina available to do shit. Come here, Gwyndo.
Heretic. First thou offendeth the Godmother, and now thou see fit to trample upon the tomb of the great Lord. I am the Dark Sun, Gwyndolin. Let the atonement for thy felonies commence.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He doesn't spawn immediately. That's what I was looking for.
Swathed in dark, an eternal curse upon thee.
Alright, I only care about the boss part of that cutscene. Alright, another boss down. Now we can start going down the four corners. I need to be careful, though. Need to be real careful of warping around here. I forget, is there supposed to be something in this chest at some point? Like if you do something in a covenant or something? I always forget exactly what should be in that chest at some point. Alright, I would use a homeward bone, but I'm scared of this area because of the fucking inconsistency with the bonfire warping. I also don't want to go through the entire, like, rafter section again. Just because the game can't register that I rested at the bonfire up here, not the one at the beginning. Again, don't get it. I really don't get why some of these decisions were made. It feels like it's just there to punish us. It's just there to make us feel bad. Alright, back to the shrine. I think I might go the New Londo route first because that would allow us to get a lot of... That would allow us to get the very large ember, which would help us do a lot of things. So I'll need to check that out. Alright, I need to... Alright, I want to make sure I get everything from you before we move on here. Which I probably can't do at this point. Alright, let's see, I got souls of shit. Don't want that. Don't want that. Don't want that. Don't need that. Alright, now before we do anything, let me go over here. Yep, what's his nuts is over there. This is... Oh, okay. Hello. Alright. Oh, I forgot you could buy the master keys from him. Alright. Let's get iron, all that stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's what we want. Enhances all magic. I don't think the rest of this shit does anything. Need that.
Thank you. That was a... I have this funny feeling, and we'll make another find.
Alright. Back to the bonfire. Alright. Now we can hopefully grab some stuff. I'll grab the rings. I think this guy stays here, so let me check with him first.
I'm up the bait. Oh, don't. Hello there.
Oh, I don't have enough to like talk to him probably, isn't that it? I don't have enough skills. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not smart enough. Alright. Okay, upgrade my thing again.
Goodbye then.
Hello, Chucklefuck. I've done the thing. You know what, I'm just gonna ignore you. Alright. Oh yeah, this was a farming spot, because you just... There's tons of... There's like, what, like... Yeah, I think it's like several, like, demons spawn walking in the void past this door, and they just fall into the abyss. May as well boost a little bit. I really want to get my stamina to the soft cap. Or, well, I want to get my stamina to the hard cap. We can level up other stuff later on whenever we need to. Is my intelligence too low or something? I'm wondering why What's-His-Face hasn't talked to me. Maybe I need to get it to like 15 or something. There we go. Do I drop down here? Does this kill me? Yeah, it does. Yeah. I forgot. How do you get, like, the cutscene to go up? How does that work? It's weird.
Hello there. It seems you've come quite excellent. Yourself.
Okay, here we go. He just had a soft cap. A soft cap of something. I really want that soul spear. That's the main thing I want.
Heading out, are you?
Alright, let's clear about our inventory a little bit. Hello.
Sorry, fool. You enough.
What? What it? What? What? What the fuck? You weren't asleep when I came back. I did the thing you wanted. Why are you mad at me? Dickhead. Alright, let me do some quick math here.
Hello.
Alright, so how much do I need? I need like 6, 8, 16, 36, 76, 79, 82, 83. I need 83,000 souls to get everything he has. Alright. I remember his stuff just continues to go up and up and up, so I probably need like another like 60,000 for his stuff. I want to do a little bit of farming here since we have the NPCs around. Now begins the farming. Alright, I think that'll do. If this isn't enough to fully upgrade our Pyromancer Flame and get all of... I keep wanting to call him What's-His-Nuts, but I know his name's Logan. I don't know why I keep calling him What's-His-Nuts. Oh no! Motherfucker! I thought you weren't supposed to leave until other shit happens. Damn it, man. Damn you, Dark Souls. Well, this makes it simple. All this goes into Pyromancy, and then we just level up afterwards.
Goodbye then.
Well, that fucking annoys me. Damn it, man. I was trying to do shit with this. Alright. Okay, so first things first, let's go to the parish. Then we'll start heading for the Moonlight Butterfly. Kill that fucker. Grab the stuff there. Then we'll come back and... well, we'll move on, do Sif. And we'll do other shit. Actually, I'm curious now. Do I have any souls to pop? Oh yeah, I didn't use my thing. Alright. I can't modify anything right now, can I? No. Alright. Alright, I'm buying the key just to have it. Alright, let's go back. I forgot to boost the Firelink thing. I have returned in all my baconous glory. Alright. This is the one thing I need to keep an eye out for in New Game Plus, is I need to keep an eye out for those what you call it? Oh, I need to go to Sunlight Altar. Alright. Hello, Solaire.
Forgive me. I did not find where else, but I cannot. But when what if I, well...
I forgot. Do I have to have my face at 11? I think I have to have...
Oh, stop your phone.
I always forget what the requirements are to join covenants in this game. They're always so wonky. Alright, well. So much wonky shit in this game. Alright, let me see. Let me think a moment. Yeah, we go back to... Yeah, okay. We go back to Parish. Go back to the Parish. Actually, one thing I need to think about is... the more sort of humanity we retain, well, the more sort of... See, I'm trying to wonder here. We can pick up different Covenant items throughout the game, so I'm wondering if we should even join the Covenant until we can... Like, I wonder if we should wait on certain Covenants until we have a bunch of their, like, turn-in material. And then, like, join the Covenant, dump everything into them, get all their loot all at once, and then move on. And just pick a different Covenant later on and do the same thing. I wonder if that might be the most advantageous way to get some of the unique pyromancies and miracles that we want to get. I wish to see it. Oh wait, yeah, I need to do something as well. Man, I don't have enough humanity to fully kindle this bonfire down here. It makes me sad. Oh. Got another Titanite chunk, though. That will be helpful. Alright, so there's that. And I always forget... Actually, wait, yeah, I can go up. I can go up from here. I keep forgetting about that. And there are some souls here. Oh wow, I can summon her even in hollow form. You have strange mechanics, woman. Hello, Dusk. Do you have any good moisturizer tips? I'm looking a bit bacony. Trying to think. Repair. Let's see. I don't think any stealth thing is going to be helpful.
If thou art in me,
Thank you. Alright. Well, repair's the big thing. Just anything that repairs shit is going to be helpful, because we're going to need a lot of repair materials when we get into, like, New Game Plus 7 and all the bosses have their maximum health. Ironically enough, certain bosses are not going to be a challenge in New Game Plus when they're replaced with enemies, but certain bosses are still going to retain that challenge, right? Like, Bed of Chaos is still going to be a bitch when we do the all Bed of Chaos run. Like, Four Kings is still going to be a difficult fight when we get to the all Four Kings run. You know, Calamite is still going to be a challenge, and Manus is still going to be a challenge, you know, when we get to their fights, you know, in New Game Plus 7. You know, it's just, it's kind of funny how, like, the boss fights change over time, both in terms of New Game Plus affecting them, but also, you know, the way this run works is going to change how difficult they are at times. But I think it also speaks to the quality of those bosses in and of themselves when you get to their regular fights and they're still a challenge. You know, minus Bed of Chaos. Bed of Chaos is not a challenge, it's a torture. So that's where we're going with it. Alrighty. Soul? Large soul of a butthole? Alright, so we're near Sif. I could probably do Sif and then run back, do Moonlight Butterfly real quick, and then we can head directly for the Four Kings. I forget if the Asylum Demon replaces all four kings, or if it's like only one of him spawns and just the health bar slowly whittles down as we kill more of them. I forget how the Four Kings fight is affected by that. Sif, it's time. I always remember the cutscenes for Sif being weird because you take like bipedal models and you stretch them into like a quadruped sort of form, and it usually gets freaky. The ultra sad theme. I'm sorry, Sif. I need to look into it too, because for the longest time, I didn't realize that Sif is a female name. But at the same time, it's like what are the, like... Yes, he doesn't... I want items in the game to tell me. Because I know that Sif is like a female name. Just, I don't know. I guess either way the tragedy still works. We still cry about how Sif and Artorias' stories played out. It doesn't change much. I think I just like the idea of like sort of like two bros hanging out, and it's, you know, a knight and a dog. All right, where am I going now? The funny part is when we get to the actual fighting bosses, like the Taurus Demon and stuff, where fighting them is just going to be like fighting the same boss over and over. And we're basically just there for the cutscenes. That'll be a funny thing. Oh yeah, those NPCs aren't replaced. Now I remember. Okay. Alright, see. See, I forget. Can you open this shortcut from the other side? Can you? No, you can't. Well, bye. I don't want to fight those NPCs. They kind of annoy me. Alright. More stamina. I feel like stamina, attunement slots, and health are going to be the biggest things that we're going to try to max out as soon as possible.
I'll be seeing you.
Alright. It's the weird thing, right? I bought the key to get the shortcut, and then I took a roundabout way to loot stuff, and I found the route I needed, where I didn't have to pay for the key to begin with. It's just... damn. Come to think of it, it's probably not worth it to actually buy the key at all. Alright. We're probably not going to rest at this bonfire throughout the rest of the runs, but never hurts to stock it up while we're here. You never know. And it never hurts to stock up when you can. I also don't want to see bacon me the whole game. Actually, wait, yeah, can't I upgrade my weapon here? Yeah, I keep forgetting that I can do that. Yeah, scythe. I should use the scythe more whenever I play the game. I'm usually not a big fan of the scythe. I usually prefer getting the Black Knight weapons because they're, you know, uber useful against every enemy in the game. But the scythe has its pros and cons. It's got very far reach, which is helpful. Alright, Moonlight Butterfly, get over here. Victory! I feel like that fight's going to be really underwhelming for the most part, just because the Moonlight Butterfly is not that interesting unless the Moonlight Butterfly... Like, this arena is not that interesting unless you actually have the Moonlight Butterfly within it. It's got that kind of thing going for it. Alright, so we've done all this stuff. Now we go to Anor Londo. Or not Anor Londo, New Londo. And then we'll go do the Four Kings stuff. And hopefully get enough resources to... You know... Actually, wait, can I level? No, I'm just shy of it. Hey, one of you die. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Alright, now let's go to New Londo and just loot tons of shit. Don't really need these, but it's fun to think about. Now, I need to be careful in some of these areas because some of these enemies will spawn and then just jump into the floor, which I don't think will push me anywhere, but I need to be careful. That's the main gist of it. I just need to be careful. This is one problem too, is they'll do shit like that. That's the thing I was worried about, is like just them physically moving and fucking me up. No, we lost our humanity. I'm gonna try one more time to get that the Firekeeper thing, but if we die again, I'm probably gonna ignore it and just move on because it's not worth dying over and over just to pick up that one item that we're gonna get plenty of as we go through the game. I'd like to get it, but it is not mandatory. I probably need to trigger it and then back the fuck up. There we go. Alright, wait for the flashy shit to go away. Huzzah! I think most of them will just jump into the abyss and die. Everything's getting all glitchy.
The view of the battle is
One thing that I just thought about now is that the Four Kings run might really suck, now that I think about it, because they've got a grad that'll drain humanity and damage us. And it seems like it's got a pretty large hitbox for that, so I'm wondering now... Oh, that must be ammo. It's just like... Thinking about what can happen on future runs is what gives me pain. Because it's like, there's so much that could go wrong in future runs, both on a technical level and on like a progression level. There's just potential for a lot of issues. A lot of issues. Alright, now we'll actually go through this area. Try to loot what we can, since there's a lot of stuff around here that can be useful. Alright, I also don't know if you guys will drop the Dark Wraith stuff, but I hope you do. Nice. All right. Let's move along here. Let's see. No, that's where I came from. My bad. Okay, we are good to go. Four Kings, here we come! I think we might do Seath's stuff last, because he's sort of the boss that we need for the DLC, like that pathway. So I figured may as well just focus on that for the moment. Focus on doing everything else besides that for the moment. Might do Nito next, because we've already made it most of the way down there. Let's see, do you have a health bar? Oh, this isn't good. How do we damage the health bar? Please let the health bar go down. Okay, there we go. I was worried. I was really worried for a minute. Nice. Nice. Alright, there's max stamina. Let's get health up to 40, because why not? And we'll probably just dump everything else into attunement slots as we sort of progress. Alright, so that pathway's done. Let's head to... Why is there no Tomb of the Giants? I've unlocked that bonfire. I lit it up. It should be working. Well, in any case, we'll head back down that way, I guess. No, there really is no Tomb of the Giants. That's annoying. I lit the bonfire. Why you no work? Oh, there's another fire heap of soul I didn't use. Oh well. We'll be okay. On the plus side, we already unlocked everything down here. The main issue is getting some of these bonfires to work. I don't think the demon over here has died yet, so I need to try to make this work. Alright, so yeah. Alright. Alright, we're gonna kill you, because you fucked this up. Alright, killing you should be permanent, as far as I know. Since you're one of those unique enemies, I would assume you wouldn't respawn. Okay, good. Now we can kindle this bonfire. Nice. Alright, let me put this... put that on just for ease of traversal when we get down to the dark bits. Let me loot it. Yeah, fuck you guys. I guess one thing I could do is I don't really have to kindle the bonfires after this one, because no matter what path, no matter when we come here, we are going to have the right of kindling. So I guess I don't have to kindle these bonfires just yet. Ooh, actually, I have enough. I have enough to do it. Actually, wait, aren't those dudes down there now? Or will they appear randomly? Okay, she is down here. Alright. Hello. Alright. Alright, let's just warp back up there. Alrighty. Now we can actually make some progress. Hello, boyo. Nice. Give me that good shit. You have no idea how much of a game changer Sanctus is. Having something that regenerates health is a game changer. Especially because it usually doesn't affect durability whenever that stuff is used. Right, hello, all of you. I'm not too worried about getting the loot down here. Just want to get the souls and move on. Right, now, if I remember correctly, I think the skeletons... If I remember correctly, I think the skeletons do stay consistent. Like, they're not replaced in the randomizer as far as I remember. I'm not really sure why, but I think that's just kind of how it is. Where's the store's greatsword? I picked that up. Did I throw it away for some reason? I might be able to two-hand that. Let's see. Well, I can't really two-hand it. Let's see if this will actually, like, help with shit. Let's find out. Yeah, I see those little skeletons. Come on over here. Oh, this is not going to work. Shit. I could have sworn I had, like... Maybe I just need to nuke the boss as fast as possible. Had to rush that. I could have sworn I picked up a storage straight sword. I don't understand where it is. I don't think I sold it or dropped it or anything. Or maybe I did sell it. Oh well. Alright, well, another lord down. Okay, let's go back. No. There we go. Okay. Now we can go down the chaos route. Which might be quick, given how there's not a whole lot in the way that'll screw us up. Thank you. Alright, I forgot. Is this kindled all the way? It looks like it is. Yes, it is. Hallelujah. Actually, can I...
If you need...
see. Alright. This next bit might be quick now that I think about it. See. Now, with this bonfire, I don't need to kindle at all because I've got a bonfire up there I can warp to. I'm kind of curious now. I wonder how fast we can get through this area if we just book it and just do what we can. Alright. You're weird. It'd be weird fighting a whole bunch of bosses in this little arena, because I feel like they could all fall off the edge at any time. And I bet many of them probably would. Actually, now I just thought about it, I wonder if Artorias would like roll off the edge without really thinking about it. That would be pretty funny. Gotta wait for Kirk to get down here. Probably should have killed him while I was up there. I'm really curious how the all centipede demon run's gonna be. you for your help, mein friend. I'm gonna kindle this one just because it's sort of the halfway to getting down here. Need that humanity. It's gonna be really weird going through the Stray Demon and the Demon Fire Sage runs, because those things are gonna be, like... Those runs are gonna be really repetitive, because it's gonna be basically the Asylum Demon, but aggressive and with explosions. And that's gonna be kind of annoying to deal with, because that enemy can hit very far, and the explosion has a huge radius. So dealing with that, going through tight areas, is going to be a bit of a pain. Hopefully by then we have a better tool to defend ourselves. You know, like Havel's armor, Great Shield, additional stuff that we could probably use as well. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Alright, we're kind of low on humanity right now. I think what we'll do is we will not kindle this bonfire. Why can't I rest at it? This is just strange. But, yeah, I don't think we'll kindle another bonfire until we get to the one right before Bed of Chaos. I think we'll kindle that one, because this area tends to be pretty harmful to basically every enemy type as far as I can see, so I don't think it would matter too much if we, you know, I don't think it would matter very much if we, you know, didn't kindle this bonfire, because, I mean, this bonfire leads to this boss, which will probably die instantly, or very quickly, and then there's a bonfire right after it, and then all those enemies in the lava area will probably die instantly as well, so... It's sort of a thing where this area kind of plays itself. The main issue is getting down to this area and then getting down to the Bed of Chaos itself. And just like that, the boss is dead. Hooray! Nice. Let's go! This is probably a great farming spot now that I think about it. Actually, wait, no. Yeah, all of those enemies die. Just remember that. Since most of the stuff around here is souls, I'm probably just going to skip over it at this point. We've got a lot of stuff, and we're going to get plenty of souls as we go through this. What's up, Kirk? Nice. Alright, let me grab this little thing over here. Alright. Alright, here we go. Last boss of this little pathway. Nice. Nice. I'm kind of curious how the Bed of Chaos run's gonna go, because I feel like the bug is gonna spawn everywhere. I feel like that's the thing that's gonna make that run kind of funny, is that we have to fight a bug just over and over and over. Ironically, that run might be the easiest, because I don't think anything would glitch out because the bug is just programmed to sit there as far as I know. So we'll see how that goes when it goes, but we're doing pretty good so far. Alright, can I upgrade my shit anymore? Alright, I think we're doing pretty well so far. Let's see, did I pick up any miscellaneous things I want to use? No. Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to end this here. Actually, let me level up one more time. There we go. Alright. Well, I'm gonna have to end this here, but we made some good progress. We're nearly done with this run. I think next time we'll do the Seath bit, and then we'll do the DLC shit. And then after that, we can just sort of wrap up upgrading weapons, and then do like a final grind for certain things, and then we should be able to head into the Taurus Demon run. I am going to split these runs up by video, so I'm not going to go straight into each run sequentially, but we'll see how that goes when we get there. So for now, I'd just like to thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys later.